Hello everybody, we are back with some more Snatcher. Let's look around the room, shall we? It appears to have been a proper morgue at one time, but now it's being used a little more than a closet. I was about to say toilet, and I don't know what's wrong with me. There's a ventilation duct on one side of the room. One of the bodies is still decomposing. The other three are little more than skeletons. Jeez. There is a cover on the duct, but it has been weakened by oxidation. Warm air is flowing from the vent. It is apparently a rather large duct. Number of different insect larvae has infested the body. It hasn't been well preserved, to say the least, but it's definitely a human body. The insects infesting a decomposing body can be divided into 8 large groups. Each of these groups works on the body for roughly 15 days, making an 8 by 15 day or 4-month cycle. As such, an analysis of variety, number, and size of organisms on the body allows a rather accurate estimation of which group is currently present. In other words, you can figure out how long the victim's been dead without analyzing the body itself, right? On this particular body, flies have laid eggs and the maggots have grown into adult flies, so it's been less than 30 days since death. As for the other 3 bodies, 1 full cycle has been completed, so at least 4 months have passed. Ugh, what a horrible smell. It's rusted somewhat, but it appears that it could be easily removed. Connected to an underground air circulation system. It may even lead into the tube liner as well. Can you determine the cause of death? The bodies are severely damaged. Such a determination would require more extensive facilities than are available here. Alright, I thought we could go through the duct, but... what about the identity of the victims? Hair, clothing, even teeth. Anything that could be used to make an identification is gone. Damn Snatchers, they were careful to make sure their identities didn't get out. If we even had some teeth, we might be able to make an ID. What about these teeth here? Yeah, those look like teeth to me. They've been deliberately misaligned to prevent identification. I see. And I guess we'll never be able to ID them. There is a way. What? How? We can perform a simulated reconstruction. Fortunately, the skulls of the victims are still intact. Reconstruction, eh? Good idea. Great idea. Reconstruct corpse, metal. Let's do this reconstruction thing on the bodies.
Now performing simulated reconstruction of the head and facial features of each of the 4 victims. Commencing with victim number 1. Now performing craniometric analysis. X-ray and sagittal X-ray, magnetic resonance imaging, and positron CT data gathered. Complete cranial data now being compiled. Craniometric analysis complete. Now commencing reconstruction. First, victim's age. Estimate based on 1. Presence or absence of cranial fontanelles and chroma of epicranial sutures. 2. Area of facial region and cranium. 3. Height of upper and lower jaw and development of alveolar part. And 4. Location of cranial center of gravity. Next, victim's sex. Estimate based on 1. Overall size of cranium. 2. Parietal bone angle. And 3. Development of splachocranium. Lastly, victim's race. Estimate based on 1. Overall cranial configuration. 2. Volume of intercranial cavity. And 3. Mass of the skull. Now commencing soft feature reconstruction based on averaged results of above analysis. Reconstructing. Initial phase completed. Margin of error on estimate of victim's race 10% based on use of averaged values. Now adding postulated hair and eye features. Reconstruction of head of first victim completed.
It's Freddie Nielsen.
Moving on to second victim. Now commencing reconstruction of features of victim number 2. Now starting craniometric analysis. Complete cranial data now being compiled using the same techniques as the previous reconstruction. Craniometric analysis complete. Now commencing reconstruction using the same techniques as the previous reconstruction. Reconstructing. Initial phase completed.
We had
Margin
Freddy.
of error on estimate of victim's race 10% based on use of averaged values. Now adding postulated hair and eye features.
Yo.
Reconstruction of head of second victim completed.
That's Lisa Nielsen.
Moving on to third victim. Now commencing reconstruction of features of victim number 3. Now starting craniometric analysis. Complete cranial data now being compiled using the same techniques as the previous reconstruction. Craniometric analysis complete. Now commencing reconstruction using the same techniques as the previous reconstruction. Reconstructing. Initial phase completed. Margin of error on estimate of victim's race 10% based on use of averaged values. Now adding postulated hair and eye features. Reconstruction of head of third victim completed.
Who in the world is that? That's the director of Queen's Hospital, Shin Fui, what's his face,
Chin Shu O, Gillian. Moving on to last victim. Now commencing reconstruction of features of victim number 4.
This one's the most recent. It's still decomposing.
Now starting craniometric analysis. Complete cranial data now being compiled using the same techniques as the previous reconstruction. Craniometric analysis complete. Now commencing reconstruction using the same techniques as the previous reconstruction. Reconstructing. Initial phase completed. Margin of error on estimate of victim's race 10% based on use of averaged values. Now adding postulated hair and eye features. Reconstruction of head of final victim
Is that
completed.
the chief?
It's the chief! What?
Jeez.
The chief is a snatcher. The Benson on the scrap of that patient record was Benson Cunningham.
Judging from the condition of the body, I would estimate that the snatching took place approximately 1 month ago.
So it was the chief who sabotaged our turbocycle. And those matches we found in Harry's room, the chief must have put them there to try to set him up.
No doubt Harry figured it out and decided to leave that face-to-face message. Wait a minute. Didn't Mika say that Harry had left to go find the chief?
That's right. He was probably trying to track down some evidence on the chief.
Gillian, I'd say that this Harry has put himself in a pretty dangerous spot.
If it was the chief that sabotaged the turbocycle, doesn't that mean that he already knows we're onto him?
Damn! Harry and Mika are in danger!
That's far enough, Junker. Your little investigation is over.
It's them!
Who? Snatchers?
Get them!
Jesus Christ. There goes my gun.
My arm! I can't reach my blaster!
I'm hit in the leg.
Is that the best you can do, Junker?
Who's there?
Jin Shuo, you scum!
It seems you still have some fight left in you. You two are finished, but our plans move forward. We are now entering Phase 2. And when we do, not only this city, but the entire world will be ours to command.
Phase 2? What are you talking about?
As you know, our operations have been hindered up to now by the flaws in our artificial skin. The skin's shortcomings have kept us away from ultraviolet rays, forcing us to do our work at night, underground, or in the winter. In the end, we had to construct a hospital like this, all because of the flaws in our artificial skin. This was the only difference between us and you humans. But now we have broken this barrier.
Huh?
We are on the verge of developing a perfect artificial skin, thanks to the cooperation of a new partner in our plan.
Perfect artificial skin? A new partner?
Once we have the new skin, nothing will be able to stop us. And with that, our plan moves to Phase 2. Our little experiment in this city will end, and we'll move in force to take over the world.
Don't be so sure. You won't get out of the city that easy.
You humans are always so overconfident, so naive.
What are you talking about?
I'm sure you're aware that the Kyoto Summit, being held to decide how to handle the Snatcher problem, opens tomorrow.
Metal, is that right?
Yes. Countries around the world are concerned about the Snatcher problem. It will be one of the main topics discussed at this year's summit.
That's right. Tomorrow, we attack the summit.
You must be crazy. The security there will be incredible. You won't even get close.
Must I explain everything to you, Junker? Aren't you even aware that a fellow Junker will be giving a special presentation at the summit?
The Chief! Cunningham! So that's why you snatched him.
We've known that your chief would be speaking at the summit for over 3 months now.
Gillian, the summit is tomorrow. We have to hurry.
Listen, we have your chief. You Junkers are at our mercy, and so is this city. And tomorrow, we move on the world. Nothing can stop us now. We will finally achieve our long-awaited goal of global domination.
Who is this we you keep talking about?
We are an evolved life form, given life in the depths of the Kremlin by our creator, Modnar. We are a new race.
Modnar?
Modnar? The Kremlin? Those names are familiar, but...
Our goal is to snatch all of the world's leaders and then achieve total control of human thought and worldwide racial unification.
You're insane. Humanity won't be so easily dominated. You underestimate the strength of the human spirit.
I think not. In the same way as the Nazis, our strategy begins with the overpowering of the spirit of the people. We will strike at you humans' weakest point, the most primitive part of your psychological makeup, your suspiciousness and fear. By provoking suspicion and mistrust throughout the populace, we will destroy that fragile fabric which holds your society together, that of trust. Fear is you humans' weak point. It is the primitive part of your brains that binds you forever to your animal ancestors and makes you vulnerable. By stimulating that part of your atavistic instincts, our plan can succeed magnificently.
Gillian, at this rate, they'll kill us all. You've got to get out alive. You're a junker.
Just what did you have in mind?
I've got a big fireworks show ready for him. Better that than get snatched.
What? You're gonna blow yourself up? No, we're better off fighting together.
Hey, it won't work. I'm hit in the thigh. Ow, oh, damn. A bounty hunter can't do anything with a leg wound like this. I might as well have been shot in the head.
There must be some way out of here.
Hey, I wasn't doing this job just for fun. I stayed ready for situations like this. I've always been prepared to go out with a bang.
It's December. A little late for fireworks.
So it'll be an off-season show.
No, I can't let you.
My belt's packed with TNT-PX. You know, that really strong stuff they use in the mines on Mars. One push, and this whole hospital will go. No trouble at all. No time to sit around thinking, Junker boy. Go! What are you doing? Get your butt moving, you fool! Get out through this air shaft. I've got a powerful strobe on me. Its flash will screw up their sensors long enough for you to get out. Now, you with me? Fireworks are better from a distance anyway, Gillian.
Are you two finished chatting? Then I think it's time for you to die. We're quite busy, you know.
You ready? When I give the signal, break into the air shaft and run, and don't forget your blaster.
Metal, stay with me.
Yes, sir.
Random.
Gillian! Doesn't look like I'm gonna have a chance to call in that debt you owe me.
Don't worry. I'll pay it back to the Snatchers with interest.
All right, go! Run, Gillian!
Jeez. We will always remember you, Random. You might have had a silly name, but you've done a great job.
Oh, man. Metal, are you okay?
Alien, I think.
Metal, something broken?
Okay, it appears that language circuits have been damaged somewhat.
What happened?
Random blew himself up after getting us into this air shaft.
Random.
Gillian, that explosion should have taken all of Queen's Hospital with it.
The thick walls of this duct must have shielded us from enough of the blast. If it wasn't for Random, we wouldn't have made it. Oh, Random.
Gillian, we have no time for grief now. We must get back to Junker headquarters as quickly as possible. Harry and Mika are in danger.
You're right. And I have to keep my promise to Random. But first, we have to figure out how to get out of here.
I can't see a thing. What should we do?
Turn on your light, first things first. I was waiting for you to ask. Let there be light. Well, let's try moving forward. There could be Snatchers waiting for us. Please use extreme caution. How far does this thing go? Gillian, you sure that this thing even has an exit? Should definitely save our video game here. You never know. Is it okay for me to override it using new data? Yeah. Go look at Metal's feetsies. Alright, now, returning to investigation. Hit the wall. There's some kind of scratches here. Scratches, check them out. Ceiling, it's constructed quite well. There are signs that construction to reinforce it has been carried out. Reinforcing bars formed with level 4 hardness steel alloy have been installed. It's quite strong. And that's what saved us. I guess we should thank them, eh? It seems that this is not just a simple air duct. What's this? There's some sand spilled here. How did this get here? For an air duct, the quantity of dust is quite low. So this means that this thing is used regularly, right? Yes, there is certainly no reason why anyone would ever deliberately clean a duct like this. Achoo! Gillian, is it Snow 9? Colin. Alright, I will gather and analyze a sample of the air here. Gillian, the results here are as I thought. Though the concentration is thin, there is definitely Snow 9 present. Snow 9, huh? Is it okay to breathe it? You will be safe at these concentrations. Right, what about that sand? Alright, now analyzing the sand. Iron particles, high quantities of phosphorus. The type of sand is particular to the M district in Neo Kobe. M district, eh? Around the old factory, right? What's that mean? It is quite unusual that particular sand would be present here. It was no doubt someone brought it here. The lower surface was constructed of reinforced concrete. Colin, the farther we go, the higher the concentration. It must be coming from that direction. Metal, are you picking up any movement? I'm afraid the shock of that explosion has damaged my motion detector. So is it working or not? I'm getting partial readings, but they are not as sensitive as they should be. If we get attacked in a narrow area like this, we've had it. Please pray for us, Gillian. We've got to make it out of here. Damn. So I have to depend on my own ears and eyes, do I? I can hear the sound of water flowing. Then we must be close to a way out of this thing. We can't go back. This way is blocked by debris. Excuse me. Both the right and left side of the walls of the duct have scratches on them, as if something hard had bumped into them. It looks like it continues for some distance. I can hear water. It can't be a dead end. I can probably keep moving forward, but it's probably likely to be a dead end. Buried alive, eh? Great. Check real carefully. There's gonna be some way out. There's probably a sewer or something nearby. Did we look at this twice? My light isn't powerful enough. It appears to continue on. I'm not reading anything at the moment. The farther we go, the higher the concentration. It must be coming from that direction. The scratch was caused by scraping of a very hard claw-like object. A snatcher. Maybe they were using this as some shortcut or back route. This does not seem to just be an ordinary air duct. Looks like the snatchers have been using it to move around. With these scratches and the presence of Snow 9, I'd say it's definite. I sure don't want to meet up with any of them in a tight space like this. Maybe we can move. Alright, continuing forward. Jeez, this thing just keeps going. Oh god. Insectors! Gillian, use your blaster! You've gotta be kidding me. I'm too good at this. Oh. I'm flooded. I've flooded myself. Oh, darn it. The sectors are too good. They come out of everywhere, every hole and crack. Oh. Gun, 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 gun. Maybe, this keeps me on my toes, essentially. Oh, we've done it. That was a close one. I'm no longer reading any motion. Phew, they really build a lot of those things, don't they? That was a close one, wasn't it, Gillian? Yeah, 4 hits, much worse than I would have been walking through those pearly gates by now. Those insectors must be security for this area, which means that at the end of this duct... I'm not reading any more motion. Let's move on. Don't want to meet up with any more of those spiders. Look, a way out! We're saved, Gillian! Metal, don't let your guard down.
What in the world?
This is part of the tube liner, the city's long-abandoned subway system.
You mean Queen's Hospital and this were connected?
Yes, it would appear that the Snatchers were using this to move from place to place. This would provide them with the perfect way to move about while still avoiding the ultraviolet rays they hate so much. We should have realized this sooner. The city is crisscrossed by the tube liner's old lines, and since they are abandoned, the Snatchers could move undetected as well.
Aha! That's how those two we caught a glimpse of at the abandoned factory where Gibson was killed were able to disappear so quickly. They must have used this subway.
That would appear to be correct. The tube liner passes underneath that factory site as well. That would also explain why sand from the factory was in the air duct at the hospital.
So this is the trick they were using to stay out of the sun and avoid being seen while they moved around.
Now we know why it took so long to uncover them.
All right, let's follow the subway. We should be able to get out when we get to the nearest station.
How far does this bloody thing go? We're probably lost. I wonder where we are. Metal, can you see what's up ahead? It appears that the tunnel continues for as far as I can see. That's the area we just passed through. I see nothing out of the ordinary. The only sound is that of our own footsteps. Metal, how much farther do we have to go to reach the next station? Since I don't know what our exact present location is, I cannot give you an accurate figure. This part of the system didn't have very many stations. We'll probably have to walk quite a bit further. Metal, can you hear any trains approaching? What are you saying, Gillian? The tube liner system has been abandoned for years, you dingus. What part of the city is this? I believe we are probably underneath the MR district. There's no sound besides the ones that we are making. Hey, Metal. Yes, Gillian. Nothing. Just wanted to make sure you were awake. I mean, he's walking, right? What's that? Gillian, what's wrong?
Look, Metal, light!
Yes, but this doesn't look like a station.
There's a ladder.
Where do you suppose it leads, Gillian?
I don't have the slightest, but let's climb it and see.
All right. Now climbing the ladder. We seem to have emerged into an odd place. Wait,
Hey, we've been
this
here.
room.
It's Freddie Nielsen's bathroom. He was using this shaft from the bathtub to get down into the subway. So that's how he did that.
Ah, yes. As I recall, after you disposed of Lisa, he somehow entered the apartment without using the regular entrance.
Which he accomplished by using this secret passage into his bathtub.
The bathtub must be of a double construction. The bottom is actually a lid. When they wanted to hide the passage, all they needed to do was fill the tub. And to get in and out, they would just drain the water into another tank.
Jeez. Double bottom bathtubs? Abandoned subways? Snatchers really go out of their way to stay out of the sun.
Okay, Gillian, let's head outside.
Alright, well, I think this is a good place to wrap up this episode. See you guys next time.